What's good? It's your girl Amani Caesar. Smoke.
Boy, Dre, they forever, baby.
Brian Reeves, Director 70 times 7.
Man, it's your boy, Artist.
The girl Tasia's name. Girl named Masam.
Jim Spook, one half back in business podcast.
Era, the Gap 2 Diva.
Big stuff.
Are you Milan? Here, Milan.
It's your girl, Flaming Gina.
This Auntie Pig.
Boy, Lou.
Ebony, aka Ebony with an I. I'm from the Big Heff radio show, and I'm
With the King Teeth Network, huh?
So I gotta get this.
You got it. And we're back. It's the King Teeth Network. And you gotta understand something, people. It's 2023. Let me make sure because we can't miss it. It's 2023.
Yeah.
And in 2023, we can only go big. So we got the big Heff. Come on now, like
What they say, the biggest?
Come on now.
Okay, no, my bad.
Come
I
on
just wanted
now.
to make sure we was good.
Come on now. The mayor
Yeah,
of the Midwest.
for sure.
The guy who really wants to see people win. And I watched the documentary. I
Okay.
did some research. I talked to people, and I got to see what you mean to the city for the past 3 years since I've been back home from college.
Yeah,
And the impact you have, it will live on for generations.
yeah.
So thank you.
Appreciate it, bro.
Thank you for being here.
Legacy mean the most to me right now.
Yeah.
I want the position in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I want the
No,
name
you
on the
don't.
street. I
Yeah.
want all of that.
Yeah. So let's start at the beginning for a second.
Okay.
Where did the hunger, where did the drive start?
Man, I always got a passion in music. Like I grew up listening to music. I think when I was like 13, I said I'm gonna be a part of the music industry, and it was always been my goal. I thought I was gonna be a teacher and stuff like that. So, but when I got busy, when I started getting busy, like I was just, my work ethic relentless.
Yeah.
So it wasn't no turning back from it. And then like I was the type of guy that I would probably make 100 phone calls every day.
What?
And, you know, so I was literally on everybody's line. Like, so when I started going to New York, started going to Atlanta, and started going to LA, it was like a family reunion because I had been talking to them for two years or 3 years at the time, you know what I'm saying? So they just opened up the doors for me. And once they opened up the doors, I was like, I ain't going back to a regular job.
Yeah.
I
And
ain't
you
worked
just
since.
kept, wow.
Yeah.
So making that leap, did you always have like faith and belief in yourself?
Yeah. I could be like, I used to be a point in time where I used to be like, I spent all the money that I made that year. And I
What?
start off January 1st, 0 or close to 0. And I'd be like, man, let me see if I could do that again.
Really?
Yeah, because December expensive month. You got bills, car notes, then
Family.
you got family, got Christmas presents. I
Yeah.
get back to the city every year.
Yeah.
I got a whole big team, so I try to give them something every year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So team, to me team and relationships. I saw in especially watching that documentary
Yeah.
is kind of the big thing that you hold dear and near and dear.
Yeah, like your team is an extension of your family. So they like when we out on the road and clubs and stuff, like that's your family, bro. So you gotta take care of them, make sure they good. They take care of me and make sure I'm good, and we get stuff done for sure.
And you have done so much. You started in 2006, right, with the Ohio Hip Hop Awards.
Yeah.
I mean, you have broken so many. You have seen some of the first record deals to come to Cleveland.
Yeah. I was just talking to Ray Cash the other day. It was his birthday.
Wow.
He's in.
Happy belated to the
And
king.
he was just like, he was the first signed artist since Bone to come into the city, and then like Fat Al got his deal, and then that just opened up the floodgates. So then
Wow.
like the MGK situation presented itself, and then Ray Jr., and then by that time I had mastered what I was doing, and I know all the right people, so it was like got the city popping.
So what what was your role in all of those in this time?
Man, with Ray Cash, I was really just supporting because he was a good dude of mine. And, you know, I figured like if I could give the city a support system like that, I was tired of the industry like taking us in and spitting us out whenever they wanted to. So I want to just start developing support systems around like being in the industry. So, and those things kind of became an industry standard. So I did the industry tour, which came the Streets Most Wanted tour. We started the Nerve DJs. We got over 3,000 DJs all around the country. So,
which is crazy.
You know, we play records, you know, and we break records at the end of the day. And then, you know, I around like 2012, I just kind of switched, and I was just getting into like my executive mode. You know what I'm saying? So.
And this is where Def Jam started to come into play?
Yeah, so I started working at Def Jam, and then they kind of opened my dude EP. Shout out to EP. He just opened the doors for me for whatever I wanted to do. He just told me, like at the time, you know, I'm young and naive. He just said, "Yo, why don't you come over here and I'm gonna make everything you're doing better?" And I was like, "What you mean you're gonna make me better? I'm hot right now." Blah blah blah. You know, but he just said he let me be me inside the Def Jam system. And through the grace of God, we just started breaking artists. You know what I'm saying? So. And like my first gold plaque was with Jeremiah. At the time, you know what I'm saying? So my first gold plaque was with Jeremiah.
What year was that?
It was like 2014.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did that feel for you?
It was crazy because, you know, of course, like when you first start in the industry, like that's your goals to get plaques. So some people hit, some people miss. And like, you know, they've been coming ever since then.
No, for real. I mean, all the way to Ryan Wolf. I mean, you presented literally Bebe Savo and YSN Flow's plaque to them.
Yeah, for sure. Like they had went gold, and I was talking to his team, and I was like, you know, I've been knowing Flo since he was like 14 years old. So did his first radio interview when he started. I'm the first person to send out his record to everybody, the whole nine. Wow. It was just a support thing. Like my young boy Reed, he was interning for me. He had did a school paper. He was doing his high school paper, his senior paper. He wrote it on me. Wow. So I thought it would be fun to take the artist that he was managing. And get him popping.
Shout out Reed. Shout out him.
So, you know, we got him popping.
No.
Needless to say,
For real.
Yeah, and you know, they became like an extended, like nephews. You know what I'm saying? So.
You got nephews and cousins all around
everywhere,
this.
Bro.
All around this. You can make 3-4 phone calls anywhere you go.
I'm finding out everything. Like yesterday in Dallas, they had the Dolph Museum, so I had my artist Ford go to that. And he was like, "Man, you connected everywhere." I'm like, "Yeah, pretty much, yeah." For sure.
How does that feel to be connected? Like, be able to go places, even be able to call and have other people be good?
Yeah. It's good, man. I mean, it just lets you know if you treat people good, they're gonna reciprocate the love.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So, I'm excited about this year. Like, I think, you know, we coming for it.
I think y'all are too. I don't think you're gonna tell me much though. That's why I ain't even pressing about what's about to come. I don't think you finna tell me much.
Nah, we coming for it. You know, you see, Ak is doing the future.
Come on
tomorrow.
now.
I mean, on Sunday.
Talk to me. How does that? That's big.
Yeah. So.
I mean,
I'm excited because it's 2 Cleveland artists opening up for Future in
DC,
the capital of the country. So I'm real, you know.
That's
good.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And not to mention you're showing it again how you can take a talent and take them to the next level. It's not just a game. It is a plan out here.
It's definitely a strategy. So it's just seeing a vision, and then we're gonna execute it. So I'm excited to see where these new artists' career go, like Alila Divine on the R&B and pop
You know,
side.
we love her.
And then
she been killing it.
Like I got a young dude, like I said,
her and Raya crazy.
He do like 1.5 million streams a month.
What?
Yeah. So I'm real happy. You know, like I said, by the end of the year, it's gonna be some more announcements for sure.
Come on now, because you got to come back now. You royal family, you gotta go ahead and step in here. This is
I'm gonna bring Big Money Tyra on the set, man. She gotta do it.
Oh, we already talked. Yeah, she gonna stop ducking me. Talking about, oh no. Anyway, I want to get into, cause you got these. I feel like you've had like of course you've had multiple decades, but in these decades you have multiple moments. So I'm trying not to like bypass just like. Cause you like some of these moments is just, I mean, working with Eminem,
Yeah.
Like that moment, like how was that? I mean, you was working on 50 Cent's first project, like
Yeah, with M, like we met through Proof, and then my best friend is from Detroit, so I used to bring a lot of Detroit artists down to the city. Those artists end up becoming D12.
wow. Okay.
And then so once they started moving around,
Yeah.
they came to Cleveland, and I was like, yo, I want to throw the after party, so I did the after party. It was at Peabody's at the time. M came, D12 came, Obi Trice came, like a whole bunch of like Erykah Badu, like it was just a whole bunch of Outcasts. It was like the most insane party I ever been to.
Ever.
Yeah.
Gotta be. I wanted
Yeah.
to be there. I probably
And,
wasn't even born yet.
Yeah, and what was it? Snoop was there. Snoop
That's
was up there
crazy.
rolling. He had a little roller. I was like, yo, this is crazy. But after that party, they just welcomed me into the Shady family. They gave me 2 kisses on the cheek, like on some mob stuff.
No way.
And was like, yo, you with us now? And I was like, what? So I thought it was, what I'm saying? I'm just thinking this drunk conversation. And then like a week and a half later, I get a phone call. They was like, yo, I want you to be the tour manager for this next tour, and you'll get paid this amount. It's 60 dates. And I was like, all right, bet. We out.
Well, had you been on tour prior? That was your first major tour.
That was the first major.
Yeah, like
for sure.
state to state type
yeah,
tour.
State to state on a bus or in a 12 passenger van, and we was just out on the road.
What did that teach you? Because I know you still use that stuff to this day.
Discipline.
Okay.
Yeah, it taught me discipline because it was, you're young, it's fun, but it's still a business because there's a lot of money getting transferred.
Yeah.
And it just taught me like that road is where you want to be at, and that's how you break artists.
Oh.
Because we was using the road to break D12 and Obi Trice, so it was crazy.
That's okay. So I kind of get the mayor of the Midwest because you really orchestrate how people move when they come to the Midwest. Is that a reasonable?
That's very fair.
Okay, so with that, I want to get back to the relationships. How do you maintain a relationship that's maybe in Philly or in Detroit or in New York? Like, how do you continue to feed or breed that relationship and be able to travel and send people?
Yeah, most of the time it's just my willingness to help. Like, everybody needs some kind of help. So I would literally ask people first, instead of what my want is.
Yeah.
How can I help you? What can I do? Like, what you working on? What can I do for you? And from that simple question, they'll be like, oh, I got a young boy, and it might be Meek's new artist, or it might be Freeway's new artist, or whoever it might be. And now I got Philly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, if I'm in Chicago, then I might, it's OTF now, but it was Lil Durk and Reese and all them guys. You know what I'm saying? Chop and all those guys. So, and I'm very tied into the industry, so every A&R always got a new artist that they working with.
Right.
And my thing is breaking artists. So I was like, yo, let me break them. Or I'll be in the studio with them in LA or Atlanta or something like that, and I'm like, man, I can't wait. Like we're gonna go on a tour, and like we're gonna really put some numbers up.
Yeah. So how did you get your numbers up when you're talking about going to state, city to city? Like, you got to keep them numbers up because it costs money to travel, costs money to put these people on shows. Like, how do you maintain that?
One thing about Heff is that he knows how to bring in the money, for sure. So money come in, money go out. Everybody get taken care of, everybody happy.
Yeah.
We good.
We good.
Yeah.
So I got to talk about this because Bone Thugs is your favorite group of all time, and you believe they're the best group of all time.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. No doubt about it.
No doubt about it.
Not even a second question in my mind.
Now, how was it like interning for Bone Thugs and Harmony?
That's what they was young and wild. But everybody was young and wild back then.
Facts.
So it was like, they was the hottest group in the country. So it was like them and Wu-Tang literally battling for position.
Right.
You had Outkast. But they was really, they was trend setting at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and you got to see it firsthand.
I got to see it firsthand, and then like around a couple years later, I end up having to work one of their projects, and then you know, it was kind of cliche. Oh, I got a project coming. Let me call Heff, and I just set everything up for the project.
And the strategicness of your movements is.
Yeah, I mean, it's my favorite group, so I love working with the guys, and I want to make they from my city. I
Yeah.
want to make sure they win. So anybody from my city, like, there's literally been times I will call, like, if I see somebody moving and I like the way they move, like if it was a YFL, Kelvin, or anybody, I would be like, yo, bro, what you doing? Oh, let me help you, and I'll put some plays together, and you know, we
Now
be out.
speak on YFL Kelvin, because that, you know, that's near and dear to my heart and
Yeah.
to the network's heart. What did you see in him when you first started to hear about him, and then how were you able to help?
Man, just with Kelvin, I just seen him moving around. Like, I had known him for a couple years, but I just seen him starting to pop and move around.
Yeah.
And then when he started moving around, I was like, man, let me help you out. And then I got a call from Alex one day, and Alex was like, yo, man, Def Jam is really interested in this kid. Is it real? And I just vouched for him. I was like,
Wow.
yeah. I was like, yo, yeah, it's real, bro. And then anything that he don't got, I'll make sure it happen. And they was like, word? And I was like, yeah. So Steven Victor called. After that, they flew him out. They put this deal together, and he got signed to Def Jam.
Well, Steve and Victor, you can hit my line. I mean, Steve, you know, ain't nothing. But that's beautiful that you were able to have those relationships to push, because that's what you need sometimes.
Yeah.
Just that last minute vouch or that last voucher, because you got all the talent.
Every city doesn't have like an industry person onto it, and
Right.
every city doesn't have like just a system in place. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what sometimes the majors want to see. But Kelvin, Rudabang, Q Money, Lil Cray, did the Lil Cray deal with LB.
Wow.
Ty Bree deal, I did that by myself.
Wow.
Me and Brooklyn Johnny. And, you know, it's going to be some new ones pop up this year.
Real cool. Yeah,
For sure.
real soon.
Yeah.
So, how do you maintain the calmness through the storms, through the adversity? Because we don't get to see that part. We don't get to see the adversity that Big Heff goes through at this point. So how are you able to get through it?
Just take a deep breath. I tell everybody to woosah,
Yeah,
and it's going to be all right.
for real.
And I'm going to make sure it be all right. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's always a challenge, but we built for this, right? We from Cleveland, from they say it's the most poverty city in the country. And some way, somehow, we make it work, and we make it, you know what I'm saying? We always come from nothing, so just make things happen.
So how do you feel like you've changed the culture? Because of course you've changed it, but how do you feel like you've changed it?
I mean, there's a lot of artists that know that a deal is possible. In some of these cities, they don't even think a deal is possible.
Wow. That's major. That's hope.
And then they know that, you know, like, I'm a phone call away. I tell all the artists. So if it's Rose Camp or whoever it might be, I'm
That
a phone
little
call
nigga
away.
is crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
He is. I was listening to that nigga today.
Yeah. So you know, they hit me up if it's Flame, if it's Doughboy, or whatever. Like, literally, and anybody will tell you, I would really call somebody like, yo, I want to help you, bro. So what you working on? What you doing?
Yeah.
Da-da-da. And we'll sit down, talk, go through music. Like, that's how me and 55 Bags became cool. Like, I would literally, he'll hit me, send me music, and then I just like, yo, I'm going to pull up. And he in the trenches. I'll go to his crib, sit at his kitchen table. The nigga would cook some food. We'll go through some records, and I'll be like, that one, that one, that one. I'm not sure about the other ones, but let's start off with those three. Boom, boom, boom. And then at the same time, like, he was dealing with that, Gotti would call and say, what he doing? What we working on? Like you got to turn him up. And I'd be like, all right, I got you. I got to get the music together first, because if that shit ain't believable, then ain't nothing else going to fall in line.
Is this recent? Like, no,
when I get the scoop, man.
No, for real, because he been working with he I don't even remember that was right before I came back.
Okay.
Him getting signed to Gotti.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if you was working with him then and that was the moments, or it's like these are the newer moments
this is before,
where he's trying to figure it out again.
It's still in place. Yeah. It's still the same type of relationship though.
That's beautiful, cause y'all been moving together more now,
Yeah, so-
and y'all have built a management deal.
Yeah. So it was like the same thing. Came back, hit me, check these songs out. He sent me like 2 mixtapes,
Right.
and you know I ain't gonna throw this shit out, but like one of the joints was Roddy Ricch, another one with Vezo, another one with some of the other.
The
CMG
Vezo that
members.
just dropped.
Yeah.
That was one of the ones you heard.
joints, Yeah.
You was like, yeah, that's.
So I'm gonna do this one, that one, and then we'll line up everything else. Yeah.
Yeah, so I love that though, cause you don't get to hear those stories, cause Bags is not a guy who's gonna just speak on everything that happens and everything that's going on. He's gonna just release. To me, 55 Bags was an artist, but he had real shit going on.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
he just tried to do the artist when he had to do the artist, and then when he didn't have to do the artist, he had the mask on and he was trying to go that way. And he tried to separate the two, but I truly believe he wants to be an artist though.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's like I love to hear that, because you get these big opportunities and it may just not be the right time.
Yeah. No, Bags, me and Bags, the whole team, like we don't travel around the whole country together. So,
Wow.
Yeah, so for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
So having these Yo Gotti's numbers, these big exec numbers like in your phone, and you could call them and have real conversations. How is that? Like, is that like, well, I'm one of them too, or is it like I'm really honored to know Memphis scene?
Yeah. I'm always honored, especially like you can call a million other people.
Right.
A lot of people call me, so that
Facts.
just means something. But it's I'm a good person to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fact. A real good. I ain't gonna keep you too long. I know you got to get out of here, man. I appreciate you.
What else we got to go through? I feel like, what time is it?
What time is it? 'Cause
Let's go. We
Oh
got like
yeah,
10,
okay.
15
Oh
minutes.
yeah, he give
Tyra, grab
me
my phone for me.
Yeah, he giving me some more time. Say less.
Tyra,
Say
grab
less.
my phone for me. Grab my phone out
Let's
my
talk
pocket
about
for me.
this book.
Okay.
So you put out a book.
Yeah.
And this was it with Essence? Cause
Yeah.
Cause Essence actually works here with us.
Yeah, for sure. S has been a good friend of mine. Like, he used to be one of the interns for the Ohio Hip Hop Awards.
Wow.
He was one of the team members.
Wow.
And we've been locked in ever since then. So I had an idea. Everybody will tell you at the top of the year, I usually have some kind of idea.
Yeah.
And
This was 2017, right?
yeah, so I was like, the clear one.
That's how you know he got things going on.
So I approached him and I said, yo, can you, let's write a book together. He was like, what? I was like, yeah, I just want to make a how-to guide. I got these thoughts and ideas, and I know he know his stuff. So I was like, let's write a book together, and we did it. We like,
So kind of break down the book. What's the book called? Can we still get the book?
Yeah, you can still get the book. It's called Making in the Midwest. It was my first book that I wrote and I co-wrote. And it was just like a how-to guide.
Yeah.
It's like a real simple how-to guide. Like a lot of times when I'm on the road or if I'm speaking on a panel or going to a school, they ask me how you do this, how you do that, or whatever. And, just through all the success stories, I just gave examples of all the success stories that I had and how they can use and implement them into what they doing in their career.
Real shit. And speaking on books and being in the schools, you're very, that's one of your goals, I would say, is to stay in the schools, stay relevant in the schools, not just with the music, but you want to teach too.
Yeah. So I'm doing just a lot of stuff with tech right now. So I got a company that I'm a part of called Toys Electronics.
Wow.
We got a program called Toy STEAM. So we go back into the high schools and teach kids how to code.
Yeah.
And how to
the
make
new
video
generation,
games.
the gamer.
Yeah.
How do you feel? And I haven't got to ask somebody about this that would kind of know. How do you feel about the Doughboy game? With
it's crazy.
How do you think that comes about? Like, how do you take that next level into the gaming world and the server? I don't even know.
I'm sure he had a lot of great conversations and drunken nights, and they implemented those into the game because the game is really him and what they do.
Yeah, facts.
So, it's, you can see him in room on any soft Friday or Sunday, so it's real talk.
So let's talk about Nerves DJs, right? You said over 3,000, right?
Over 3,000 DJs. We like to break records. One of the crazy things is like we like to, we got a conference call. We was the first DJ crew that was at South by Southwest at A3C, and we do events all around the country.
So,
Shout out to Johnny O.
Johnny O, shout out to him because he was on here for like when we had it right here.
Okay, the infant stages.
Come on now, but I believe that was the 18th annual.
Yeah.
That you did at the Odeon.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Appreciate it.
What did that mean to you though?
Man, I just love to bring opportunities to the city. So I brung like a lot of my A&R friends, entertainment lawyers, label reps, just anybody that was popping that year. They usually pull up, and I'm getting ready for the 20-year anniversary. And
it's this year.
Yeah, we at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on Friday, Platinum 13 on Saturday, at the House of Blues on Sunday. So we're gonna go real big.
Wait, what month?
It's in September.
September
22nd through the 24th.
Okay, y'all got an A. Y'all heard it here.
Yeah, time to get ready.
Y'all better get ready, because that's going to be a weekend. That's going to be like All-Star Weekend. And that's what I want to talk about next.
Okay.
All-Star Weekend. What was your idea knowing that All-Star Weekend was coming to Cleveland?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Well, my boy Homer, he the craziest guy on
Ain't he?
Instagram, bro.
Ain't he?
Me and Homer done had a whole bunch of late nights at the Medusa for sure.
Uh-oh. Homer got history, man.
Yeah, for sure. He's my drinking buddy. But All-Star Weekend, I just wanted to, for me, I wanted to show them a different side of Cleveland. I brung together like a media room. I did sipping cigars, like a cigar lounge just for the execs so we could talk. And then we did like a couple parties, man. The mayor came to the party.
Yeah.
Just a whole little vibe. And I did it so crazy. It was like an unlimited bar. So it was just like, we were just, having a great time.
And that was kind of the idea, like make sure like when they in your city, they felt comfortable.
Yeah, because, like, I don't want to say it, but like, there was a lot of celebrities staying at the same hotel. And then, MGK Coffee Shop is right there. We did some stuff for Bronze, them people. Like, so it was just like a whole, like coming home
type of feel.
Yeah. So it was
I
good.
love it. Okay. Proof.
Yeah.
How did you meet him?
Like I said, the Detroit guys used to come down. I used to go up to Detroit. He liked the way I did business, and he ended up becoming a good dude of mine, and he just offered me like all kind of opportunities. So he was the one that recommended me to go on the road, and I started managing some of the artists that he had, and I would have to read over his contracts and do separate deals and all kind of crazy stuff. So shout out to Big Proof. He forever the big homie. And like every year for his birthday in Detroit, we do like a Big Proof Forever event. So invite his family out. Some of the guys from D12 show up, and it's always a good time.
Yeah. Now talk about some of these tours, because you went on some of the biggest tours in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Like, what were some of your favorite experiences, and then like, how do you put a tour like that together?
If it's my tour, like I just really just map out which cities that I want to go to, which cities that I think fit the artist that's going to be a part of it, and I just plan it out. I usually can plan a tour in like 2 days. Wow. Yeah, and then,
if you know the markets and the cities you want to hit, yeah.
And then like where I want to go, if I want to go to New York, if I want to go to Atlanta from the tour, just depending on where I want to go. And then on the other side, like when I'm planning out artist tours, I will do a partnership with like a booking agent and something like that. So like Sleazy World got an upcoming tour coming, Herbo got an upcoming tour coming. So it's just like a lot of artists just ready to work. Like
Partnerships is like a big word.
Yeah.
How did you?
Because it's impossible to do everything.
It's impossible. Yeah. That's a fact. Yeah. How did you master partnerships? I feel like you've mastered knowing how to structure a partnership.
Yeah, I mean.